That's a big fish, dude.
Winter in Colorado,
Yeah.
where the mountains are capped with snow and the air bites with cold. In this short window, Ava and I are heading deep into the Rockies to chase wild trout, braving freezing temperatures with one goal in mind: land some big fish. With time running out and the chill creeping in, we're grinding it out to make every cast count. This is winter fly fishing at its toughest, and the reward is always worth the grind.
You're a little bit lower.
There's nothing like a drive up to the mountains. It always seems to be very relaxing. We hit some snow on the way up, but it wasn't coming down hard yet.
In the room with Ava. We got the snacks for tomorrow while we're fishing. What do you think, hon?
After me and Ava got settled in our room, I went outside to go look at this very beautiful sunset that was happening. Ava actually surprised me with this beautiful evening at the hot springs, which was so much fun. The next morning, I went out to check the truck and decided to get the fly rods all set up and ready to go.
Okay, so hello and good morning. It is Sunday. Me and Ava got to our hotel yesterday during the evening and got everything settled in. And now I'm just going to be tying some rigs up for today so we can get going on the river here in a little bit. But yeah, we had a really nice night last night. We went and got some good food and went and enjoyed the hot springs that we have out here in Colorado, and it was awesome. So yeah, we're just going to get some flies on some lines, and we're gonna hopefully head out here in a little bit.
Fly fishing is super fun, especially during the winter. There's less people on the water, and besides the freezing temperatures, catching big fish on tiny flies is always a blast. This body of water has a dam outlet, which usually this time of year is pushing out nymphs like mysis and a couple other small midges out. For those of you who don't know what a mysis shrimp is, it's a freshwater shrimp. Not that kind of shrimp. Mysis shrimp, a small translucent crustacean often hidden in the depths of cold, clear waters. These tiny creatures are a vital food source for trout, particularly in lakes where they've been introduced. They're rich in protein, and they provide a perfect high-energy meal. That is why mysis shrimp are a perfect fly during these times of the year to be throwing.
So I'm going to be running a 3-fly setup just for the first bit of the day, just to kind of get going and figure out, what they're really feeding on. This time of year we do get hatches, but I'd say most of the time they're going to be, going for really small nymphs or midges. But we're starting off with eggs, and we're doing 2 separate egg setups. And so we're starting off with eggs, and then I'm kind of working my way down to like really small, just nymphs and midges, like kind of I said before. But I'm gonna be doing that I'm gonna try a jujubatus and probably a mysis, but I gotta see if I have something small enough for kind of what I'm thinking. I think that in the winter, when it gets to be, when you're dealing with really cold temps and you're dealing with fish that are like in spawning mode and all that other fun stuff, you really gotta go a few sizes down, because I think they're gonna be kind of just wanting something easy and wanting to pack on as much size as they can. But yeah, we're gonna go with just because I know where we're fishing has, or at least holds, such big fish. We're going to be going, and I've broken off on 5X too many times there, so we're going to go with 4X because I think it'll be just enough to be sneaky, but also just strong enough to deal with the fish that are there. So we'll see.
Decided to get some good breakfast and watch one of my favorite YouTubers, and then get going. I've been fishing this river for years, and it's given me some of my best catches. It's always an incredible experience. I share a lot of memories on this river. This river's basically watched me grow up. About 2 years ago, I brought Ava here for the first time during the summer. It's been really cool to be with someone who also shares the same passion to fish that I do. Ava has always been down for the adventure, and that is a quality of hers I will always admire. It took us a while to drive down this windy road, but we finally got to the spot. After we got out of the truck, excitement and anticipation were up. A piece of advice that I would always tell people fishing this time of year is dress appropriately. Seriously, it gets cold very quickly, especially when the wind kicks up. It at least feels 20 degrees colder than it did with no wind. Quick conversation with these guys that just got off the river. And the stretch that we were fishing, he said, was stacked full of fish, which made me and Ava way more excited to get on the river as quick as we could. There's always a lot of excitement right before you hit the water that you're about to fish.
Okay.
Ava started fishing a little bit ways apart from each other. She started a little bit up the river, I started a little bit down. That way we could kind of hone in on where these fish were going to be holding up. There's a lot of algae this time of year, but I will say the scenery was breathtaking. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to capture Ava's fish on film, but it was a lot of fun just to be in that moment with her. It's very apparent that Ava loves to fish just as much as I do, if not even more. There's something to be said about a woman who would deal with freezing cold temperatures just to fish, and Ava does not like the cold, but she will always put up with it to fish. Fishing is what connected me and Ava in the first place, and it's been really cool to see where this shared passion of ours has taken us.
Oh, you came off?
No matter where we go, whether if it's an isolated lake or a freezing cold river, Ava's usually one of the only, if not the only woman that is on that body of water fishing and dealing with temperatures and conditions that no one else wants to put up with, which I think is pretty bad A if you ask me. I decided to walk up to this hole that I had been seeing a few fish rise, and just to see if there was anything hanging behind these reds.
Oh, dang, I was about to say. Oh, there we go.
There's nothing like the feeling of hooking into your first fish of the day. Oh man, it always gets my adrenaline pumping.
Got a lot of head shake in him. This giant, oversized net. Woo! That feels like good. Oh yeah, it's big fish.
This fish was putting up one of the best fights I've ever had, but my line was starting to freeze on my reel, so I was getting really worried that I was going to break off.
Oh my goodness. Come back. Come back. Yeah, you don't want to get over here. Sheesh. Oh man, dude, that is crazy. I haven't had a fight like this in so long. Oh my god!
I've never seen one that big in person. That's pretty insane. Keep him in there, hold on.
That might be a PB. Might be my PB. Oh yeah. You're on a, what is that?
You help me grab
Brown.
him?
Yeah, here.
It's another brown, I think.
Here, let's bring him over here so I can work on
How
him.
did you get this huge one?
On the egg. You have an egg too.
I know, but yours is a little bit of a different color.
Oh yeah, it's slightly.
Holy crap. What? Okay. Wow. I'm gonna get behind the camera.
Oh.
Get a picture. And look at me. And look at me.
Look at that fish. This might be a PB for me.
What size shoe are you?
I'm like an 11.
So put your foot here when you're in the net and then
He's huge. That is an amazing. This is probably the best way I could have ended the year. Catching probably the biggest cut bow I've ever caught in my entire life with Ava was one of the best moments ever.
crazy. That's a big fish, dude.
I can never get enough of how beautiful these fish really are. Especially in the winter, they seem to color up even more.
Gone.
Yeah, buddy, a little brown. Really? Oh. I was over the moon with that fish. I could have gone home that day with just that fish and been so happy. My GoPro had just died and I went to go back and check the camera, literally just letting the line drift down by accident and hooked into another tiny brown. The fishing was better than you could have ever asked for. Not to sound like a broken record again, but it is truly amazing where this passion of fishing of ours takes us. I would have never thought that 2 years ago I'd be fishing with someone that I could not only call my best friend, but also my fiance. Fishing is always fun, but getting to enjoy the sights and scenery and the wildlife around us, there's something special about that. After about an hour or two of fishing, the wind started to pick up and the weather started turning for the worst. The snow just kept getting more and more, and that wind was biting our face the entire time. We were getting ready to think about heading out when all of a sudden, Ava hooked into a monster. The unfortunate part is Ava's reel was completely frozen, so she couldn't give this fish any drag to work with. There was an outlet from a dam up this way, and I decided to give it a try. But finally, the weather was just getting too much.
I've never been here on such a windy day.
so we decided to pack it up and head out. This was a trip for the books, and I can't wait for me and Ava to come back again.